begin the meeting by starting a roll call tonight for the city zoning board. Saginaw of Appeals. Mike Faust is going to open up the session.
The Board of Appeals on Zoning, this is a regular monthly meeting, and the zoning board is here to interpret the zoning code, zoning maps, and more often to give or listen to variance requests for different language from the regulations that are there and decide whether if they want a variance. On the zoning board, we have 6 members. It takes 4 members to have a quorum. It also takes 4 members to vote in favor or against a variance for it to happen. If they do not receive 4 votes, then the variance request fails. Based on that, let's go ahead with roll call. Gale?
Present.
Jones-Webb?
Present.
Nash? Ahmad?
Present.
Bush? Helpap?
Present.
We do have a quorum, and we can go on with the agenda. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the July 6th meeting.
So moved.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Under new business, we have case number J16-0022 to allow a variance for a dog run / kennel next to the Saginaw County Animal Care Center at 1304 Gratiot.
Good evening, members of the City Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Robert Bellman. I am the County Controller and Chief Administrative Officer for Saginaw County. I'm here representing Saginaw County and the Saginaw County Animal Care Center. We are seeking a use variance. Do I need to give my address? Okay. I see it up here, so it was a reminder. We're here seeking a use variance allowing an outdoor exercise yard with potential dog runs directly east of the Saginaw County Animal Care Center. No zoning district currently allows outside exercise areas. 9 to 12 dog runs will be individually fenced within a fenced yard, providing security and protection for the dogs, neighbors, and passerbys. We want to provide this outdoor exercise area to provide a healthy and happy environment for the dogs that are under our care and custody. The dogs reside in cages that are 5 by 3. There are 72 of them in the main kennel. There are 9 dog runs within the main kennel, but majority of our animals reside in those cages. Volunteers, some of who are here tonight, have graciously donated their time to walk dogs or to watch them play in the 2 yards that we have behind our garage. We have too large of a population to allow all the dogs out every day or even on the weekends when most of our volunteers are present. Our concern is absent outdoor exercise, dogs become cage aggressive. Their behavior deteriorates, and the prospect of them being adopted diminish. We need your help. These dogs need your help. We pray that you will grant our request for this use variance and allow us to move to the next phase, which is a site plan to the Planning Commission to put anywhere between 9 and 12 dog runs adjacent to the Saginaw County Animal Care Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bellman. Good evening. My name is Alan Bean. I work with Spicer Group, the engineering firm down the road. I'm a community planner. We're located at 230 South Washington Avenue. My company put together the application packet for this use variance request. I believe everyone has a copy on your desk. I think Mr. Bellman encapsulated the overall request before you. To restate what Mr. Bellman said, the county is requesting a use variance for the old gas station parcel adjacent to the Saginaw County Animal Care Center. That parcel, I believe, is under the stewardship of the land bank at this time. It is cleared, and moving forward, if the county were granted the use variance to allow that dog run, then it would basically allow the continuance of the current animal care center onto the adjacent property. And with an approved use variance, then the county would come before the planning commission to seek site plan review for an overall layout and design of the dog run area. At this time, the county is not seeking site plan review, but specifically the use variance request. So that's why we're before you here today. Again, Mr. Bellman encapsulated the proposal very well. I don't know what more to add other than we note in your zoning ordinance, there are no zoning ordinances that allow kennels or dog runs. And so, in the overall strategy, how should the county proceed in terms of permitting and how to seek the potential for future dog runs without a zoning ordinance to the language that addresses the dog runs. The county has then asked us to say, well, how do you go about doing that? And we think the use variance is the best pathway forward to allow that, since there are no zoning districts in your zoning code that allow this type of use. So that is why we're here before you today. With that, I will just close my remarks and avail myself to you if you have any questions.
Who owns the property? Is,
I believe the county land bank owns it currently. Mr. Bellman, is that correct?
That is correct.
okay.
And if I may, I've had a conversation with Treasurer Novak that if we are successful with the use variance and we are proceeding with the use of this property, he will transfer title to the county so that it can be used under the county's name and not the land bank.
Thank you.
Okay, so the city planning commission would have nothing to do with the overall site?
Yes, they will. If you grant the variance tonight, then they will have to prepare an application.
Because I know they keep saying county.
No, they will have to prepare
Right.
an application for the city
Right.
planning commission.
Just on that note, we just chose not to go to the planning commission first. We wanted to come to you
Right.
first before we invested
Which makes more
the
sense.
resources before we went to the planning commission.
Any further questions or discussion?
Is there anyone else here to speak in favor of the project? Come to the microphone. Give your name and address.
Name and address, you said?
Yes.
My name is Cam Crystal Christopher. My address is 4155 Old King Road. I'm a volunteer at the shelter. 2 months shy of being there for 3 years. I've been through their period of time when we've had volunteer dog walkers, when we've only had 1 or 2. And I have seen the effects of what it does to the dogs when they don't get outside. The difference in a week, if we don't have volunteers, or even a couple days, can make the difference in a dog's life. That just not getting out for that few minutes with us. And these runs would allow almost all of the dogs in the building to get out every day for a little period of time, and we're talking life-saving here. This is not just, oh, we want dog runs just for whatever. This is really life-saving for these animals. I know the city the county has offered to put a sound barrier if it's a problem for any of the neighbors. We have 2 existing play areas that we play with the dogs. There's really not much noise. I don't know how the noise would be with several dogs out there, but I mean, there is that option for that to go up. But this would seriously be life-saving to these animals.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Lori Brown. My address is 3130 Johan Drive in Saginaw. I am also a volunteer dog walker at the animal shelter. And as Cam was stating, the mental effects on these dogs not being able to be outside more than 10 minutes a day, if they get that, is so detrimental to these dogs. We've had a lot of dogs that come in from family homes that are surrendered due to a death in the family, divorce, moving, whatever. And these dogs come into total chaos, and they live in this chaos 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you've ever been in the animal shelter and been in the main kennel, you would know the minute you walk in the door, it's so overwhelming. You can't spend more than a minute in there. You cannot talk to anyone. You have to scream in someone's ear to have them hear you. And these dogs have to live in this situation. When we take them out to play, if they only get 10 minutes because there's so many animals, it takes 10 minutes just to get the heebie-jeebies out of them. And before their brain can even start to unwind, relax, and just calm down. And if the dogs were on a rotation basis and could get out there at least an hour a day, as Cam stated, it would be huge. It would be huge. And when you have families that come in to adopt animals, and they see these animals barking and lunging at the cages because these dogs want to get out. They are so frantic to get out of these cages that people are scared. They think, oh, you've got nothing but vicious animals in there. And that's not the case. It's just animals that are so desperate to get out of these cages that they're just throwing themselves at the bars of these cages. And it's just sad. And there's a lot of dogs whose personalities suffer greatly the longer they're in there. We have animals that have been here in the shelter, 6, 7, 8, 9 months at a time, and they're being overlooked for adoption because they're just getting more and more frantic. And it would be, as Cam said, a life-saving change for these dogs.
My name is Lisa Stefan, and I'm at 2522 South Porter Road in Breckenridge. However, I am the new director of animal control. I want to echo what all the volunteers said about the mental health of the dogs and their livelihood. However, it also impacts everyone in the community. These are dogs that we're putting out with families that we want to go and be healthy animals. It's a public safety risk if we have a dog that is mentally challenged from being contained in these tiny cages and not getting time to run, to put them in a home and expect them not to act out. Staff members that are handling them every day, it'll pose less risk to them if they can get out and exercise. So in addition to everything the volunteers echo, I just wanted to say that about the risk of public safety and making sure that we do everything we can to put sound, quality, adoptable animals into the community that are healthy and well exercised. Thank you.
My name is Sarah Navarre. I live at 10230 Sheridan down in Burt. I hadn't actually intended to speak at the meeting tonight, but I also wanted to add, too, that I volunteer at Amazing Grace. And the reason I volunteer at Amazing Grace is because it's a no-kill shelter. I don't ever have to walk in and say, "Where's Branson?" "Oh, he's not there." And if dogs are being euthanized because of behavior issues from being locked up in a kennel all day, then I'm less likely to volunteer, where I feel like if you do this and you have happier, healthier environment, you will get more volunteers. Those dogs will get so much more time and attention. And I just think that that would be really good for them. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hi, Michelle Sawyer, 2310 North Clinton. I'm a resident of the city of Saginaw, and as such, I would like to request that you do grant the variance for the dog kennels. I'm also a volunteer at the shelter, and as such, I would like to beg, excuse me, and plead that you grant the variance. Sorry, I'm very emotional these days. My dog just died. If the obstacle to the outdoor kennels is the possibility of noise due to barking, I can tell you this: you can already hear the barking. You can hear the barking from the parking lot. You can hear the barking from your car when you pull in. I hear it in my sleep. They say the same thing every time. Let me out, let me out, let me out. Because they only get out for about 15 minutes a day. And that's not the same as my dog or any of your dog getting out once a day because we're busy at work. That's them getting out one time a day out of a tiny kennel. That's the life of a shelter dog. So, if the concern is barking, what dog doesn't bark? One that's well exercised and not cooped up all day. I know that whatever decision you make, it can't make everyone happy because people are inherently hard to please. What is not hard to please is a dog. Dogs are easy. Food, water, exercise, attention. Very basic. So, if you want to make an easy decision and make the easy one happy, say yes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Welch, 2015 Arthur, and I'm a resident of Saginaw. I've lived here all my life. I can't think, I grew up in the 70s. We don't need any more parking lots. I'm gonna look at it in another way. This is a vacant lot. It's not doing anyone any good. Why not put it to good use and let the animals exercise their heart, their head, their heart, everything. And then we can give them new homes. But we don't need any more parking lots. We don't need vacant lots that aren't being mowed. Put it to use. I pay my tax dollars. I'm paying for it. Let's use it.
Is there anyone that wants to speak that's opposed to the project? I do want you to know I received 3 calls in opposition. The concerns were the barking dogs, that property values in the area may be lowered. They weren't sure what type of fence was going up, and they were concerned what the dogs would do if there was a fire run and the sirens from the fire department across the street was to happen while they were out there. Those were the main concerns that were brought up by those 3 people that did call.
I would just like to address, like with the sirens with the fire station. Every dog we've ever had, they hear the fire trucks every day. And when they're outside playing, I don't know of any of the dogs that they don't pay any attention to it. There's sirens going past there all day long, all the time. The dogs don't pay any attention. It's not like they're gonna start barking or howling when they hear the sirens. They're so used to it. And as far as the property value, the homes we're talking about in the area there are not, well, how should we say, they're not, they don't have a high property value. Now, not that that's to say that's a good reason to do that, but the barking, you hear noise from the car, the mechanical garage across the side street. We hear noise all day from that. There's noise from sirens. There's noise from the neighbors. There's just noise nonstop on that corner. It's in the traffic. It's nonstop noise. So I don't think there would be that much of an issue with the noise. I don't think the noise level would go up that much, I'd try to say.
One woman did say that she thought the animal shelter should be moved out in the country to a new site.
That would be nice. We would love that.
So, on the issue of property values, long-term, the county's looking at, we need a bigger shelter. We need the animal control operations separate from public adoptions. Because right now, you go into where dogs are being held because their stray hold has not yet expired, and so therefore you see dogs that you may be interested in, but you can't access them because they're not in the adoption program. So we're looking at long-term expanding the facility at that site or looking at alternate sites. You know, if we abandon that site, I think it would have a greater impact on property values in that neighborhood. I think the Saginaw County Animal Care Center, located where it is, creates economic vitality to that portion of Gratiot Avenue. And we want to stay there. We want to utilize the adjacent property. We believe that it will be an improvement to the abandoned gas station that was demolished and all of the environmental cleanup that took place on that site. Right now, it's just a gravel lot. We would make improvements, landscaping the green belt to address the noise to the best of our ability. We're sensitive to the neighbors. They can contact the shelter if there's any noise issues so that we can make adjustments on the number of dogs that are out or how long they're out or the type of dog. If it's one dog that's barking, we'll take to the backyard as opposed to one that runs. So we'll look at trying to accommodate the concerns of the immediate neighborhood with an expansion onto that vacant lot. But we believe absent what we're asking for and absent our location there, I think the deterioration of property value will be much greater than if we were to make these improvements. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Is this where the old Rite Aid was?
The Rite Aid is the.
So you had traffic through there all the time, you know?
Yes.
All right.
Motion to approve the variance?
I make a motion to approve.
I'd like to amend the motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to amend the motion that you're making, to include the sound barrier, just in case, it might come up in the future, it shouldn't, include the sound barrier within the site plan.
That is something that would be addressed by the planning
Planning.
commission.
But we can vote on the use only then, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, I'll make a suggestion then, I send my motion. I'm just trying to accommodate, people who might complain, that's all. I send it, so. The motion stands, I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those who oppose?
Your variance has been granted.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is old business. I have no old business. Does anyone on the board? Public comment time on any other item in the city?
Okay, a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.